Minds Big Talks, where little kids have big conversations. I'm Gavin.
And I'm Lily, and we are very excited to be with you today.
Yes, this month we have been learning about mental health and why it is so important.
We even had a child clinical psychologist help us through this big topic.
And today we have some very special guests with us today from the Kaiser Permanente educational theater programs.
Can you tell us a bit more about who you are and what you do?
Yes, absolutely. My name is Anthony.
And my name is Kat.
So we are actor-educator for Kaiser Permanente educational theater programs, as you just said. And some of you might remember me because I played the character of Bot, and I played the character of MG in our program called The Password.
Yes, and some of you might remember me from Miss Brazil's class when we came to your school at Love Elementary to do a fun workshop about the password. We have other actor-educator friends too for our work, and we do a bunch of art-based education in different schools and communities all over California. Some of our programs even go to other states too.
I remember you guys coming here.
Yeah.
I know, I remember you.
I was the one that did the anger emotion.
Yeah, you guys are wonderful. I too remember you.
But what are some big topics you cover in your work?
That's a good question. So one of our big topics is self-regulation, which is how we can calm ourselves down when we're having just like a big feeling, whether it's anger, like you just mentioned, or sadness, just a way to get ourselves back to calm. We also cover empathy, which is a huge, huge topic in our program. Empathy is really about, the best ways to help other people.
Yeah, like the calming down part of what you said, we practiced when Catherine came to our class. We did the square breathing.
I remember that.
Yeah. Love square breaths. I use them all the time. It helps me calm down whenever I'm feeling just either anxious or just needing a breath.
I just started using square breaths because I just learned about it from our password program, and I love the square breath now. I use it all the time.
How do you explain empathy, and how can we explore that more as kids?
So empathy is putting ourselves in someone else's shoes to imagine how another person is feeling or what their perspective might be. So if we notice someone, they seems like they might need help, we can explore empathy by first recognizing how we might feel in that moment. If we were in that situation, and having a big feeling too, if we were just experiencing what they might be experiencing, whether it's happy or sad, angry, disappointed, really any big feeling.
We can imagine for ourselves how that big feeling would look on our face. How would it show up in our body? Maybe we notice similar expressions in someone else. So next we can dig a little deeper and find out what's going on. Maybe we can ask them how they are feeling or if they are okay. And that's what empathy is all about.
Yeah, you could ask them, but make sure that you don't come off like you need to know.
That is very important. Absolutely.
Why is it super important to ask another person how they are feeling?
So, we can totally guess, like we were just saying, you can guess how someone is feeling, right? You can look at their face, you can look at their body language. There are a lot of clues that people give, when they're having an emotion. And if we want to know for sure, if we want to know, because we can't just guess what someone is feeling, it's super, super important to ask them, right? Some ways to ask, we could say, how are you? What's going on? What's up? ¿Qué onda? Right? There's so many different ways, so many different versions of how are you. When we have that information, that came directly from that person, we can then try our best to help them feel better because we can understand a little bit more about what they might need.
Absolutely. And if we think that the problem is too big for us or them to solve on our own, then we can take it that step further and we can get help from that trusted adult.
Yeah, I totally agree.
How can helping ourselves and others relate to mental health?
You actually said it so well in your first episode about mental health. And mental health is about how our brain feels. Our thoughts, our emotions, our moods all really make up that mental health. So we don't want our brain to be in a place of panic or feel threatened, as if a big bear was coming to chase us, that's that fight or flight mode. We want our brain to feel calm and ready to learn.
That is so true, Kat. Yeah. So, when we help ourselves and others by practicing things like self-regulation, which is one of our big points, when we're having a big feeling, or using empathy to help others and, getting help from a trusted adult when we need it, all of that helps our brains to feel good. It really, really does help our mental health.
Yeah, our teacher plays a cartoon named Kif, so you don't on like every Monday, so you don't dread coming to school and like have something to look forward to.
Your teacher is the best.
I know.
Super important.
All right, we have some questions from our listeners.
A second grader said, I get really angry when my little brother takes my things, and I always end up screaming and hitting him. Then I get in trouble. I don't know what to do.
I know what they mean. It happens, sometimes we get a little pent up energy, and sometimes we feel this little aggression, but, because I wouldn't like anyone to take my things either. But it sounds like a good time to practice that self-regulation, though. The next time your little brother takes your things, maybe try taking that deep breath or a square breath, or even a flying breath, doing something to make you feel calmer so that you can really talk to them and get the help from parents or whoever else is around you, so you won't get in trouble for losing your temper.
Yeah, like what I do, like when I'm like angry at something, I just play like a sport like basketball or football so that I could get my mind off of it.
Absolutely. I always say doing something that you love really helps.
A seventh grader said, how do I know if I am depressed and need extra help or if I am just sad?
Wow, thank you for asking that. That's a deep seventh grader question. Wow. When we are feeling sad, we might express it through emotions like crying or wanting to be alone for a bit of time. It usually passes in a few days or so, but, we can still, there's some things that we can do, like you talked about playing sports or eating, sleep, just getting through school, the regular activities. We just might need some extra time to reflect and, maybe talk about it with someone that we trust.
Yeah. And if the sadness does feel worse or, last for 2 weeks or more, then it could mean that you might need some extra help. Or if you really have trouble doing the basic needs like eating, sleeping, or getting through your regular activities, it's really important to reach out to a trusted adult. Or just like Dr. Theo said in your last episode, we can call 988 or call 1-800-273-TALK. Or you can even just text the word home to 741-741. And those are great resources to use.
If you're like sad for a long time, that means that you have depression. But if you're just sad for like 1 day or two, it means that you're just sad.
Yeah, sad is a very normal emotion. Everybody gets sad sometimes.
Very normal, very normal.
As soon as it's like lasting for some time, that may be time to get some help, like Kat just said.
A fifth grader asked, there are times when I want to help, but I didn't want to ask for it. Even if someone offers me help, I say that I am fine. What should I do?
So, sometimes it is okay to not feel like you need that help, but also it is okay to say yes to help. I know sometimes it makes us feel really vulnerable, or in some other words, maybe even weak, but to ask for help is actually one of the strongest things we can do. Just like in our Password film, we have a character, Sophia. When her and her mom had a big problem that was too big for them to solve on their own, they asked for the help and they got it. And even children and adults need help on so many levels. So don't be afraid to ask, or don't be afraid to say yes to the help that is offered.
Asking help is a very brave thing to do because sometimes you could get like scared to ask help, to like think that you're like weak.
Yes, absolutely. And honestly, to me, it's probably, the strongest, bravest thing that we could do.
The last one is from a third grader. I get really nervous about things and I want to talk to someone, but I don't know who I can trust. How do I know the right person to talk to?
Ooh, this is also a really, really good question. And it's also one of our big points in our Password program. It's finding a trusted adult, especially for our children, for our third graders, right? We definitely want to find a trusted adult. And so, the question is, how do I know? How do I know if it's a trusted adult? So I want to do something a little unconventional. I want to take all of our listeners through a meditation, and this will help us maybe start thinking of who our trusted adults are, okay? So if you're able to, go ahead and close your eyes. And if you don't want to close your eyes, you can maybe just look down, right? You want to go into a little internal bubble, all right? So I want you to imagine a place that makes you feel peaceful and calm. That could be your bedroom, that could be a park, the beach. It could be a place where you've been to before, or a place that you create in your imagination, like a rainbow land or like a candy land, wherever you want it to be, okay? And, it could be a place from your favorite book or movie. All right, just think of that place right now. And then what do you see in that place? Look around you. What colors do you see? What textures do you see? What does it smell like? All right. And once you think of that and really paint that place for yourself, I want you to think of maybe a person, like an adult in your life who you would want to be in that place with. And maybe this person makes you feel safe. This person makes you feel cared for. Just think of who that person might be. Really imagine them. Okay, and now if you're able to, open your eyes or look up, and that person is oftentimes a great place to start. When I've done this exercise in the past, I'll think of my grandmother. She's a person who always takes care of me, feeds me, makes sure that I feel safe, and it's a person that I can talk to about anything. So yeah, thank you so much.
We can always ask for help and take breaks when we need it. It's so important to take care of ourselves. We deserve it.
You absolutely do deserve it. Yes.
I think it's so important that we try to listen to ourselves and others about what we need. We deserve to be happy.
Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
Well, first, I just want to say thank you both for being just all-star students and really carrying forward our mission, right? Our mission is to help people learn how to ask for help and also to help people not feel alone. If you notice someone is feeling sad or they're struggling, you can be the person that gives them help as well. So I just want to thank you all students for just being at the forefront of making the world a better place.
I want to tag on that and say thank you so much too. Understanding and exploring empathy is also very, very important to me because spreading the kindness is something that is the least that we can do in this world, and it's free. Spreading that kindness around is very contagious, and so once one person does it, more people will do it, and we just got to show more kindness and more empathy in this world. And I appreciate that you all are exploring it and talking about mental health. It's very wonderful to see you all do that.
Thank you so much, Anthony and Kat, for taking the time to come talk to us and spread the message of mental health and empathy.
That's all for today's episode of Little Minds Big Talks.
Hope you got something valuable out of today.
This wraps up our talk on mental health, but we hope you choose to continue this conversation in your own life with the people you love.
Next month, we'll tackle the topic of gender identity, and you won't want to miss it.
Thanks for listening, and remember, little hearts can make a big difference. So spread kindness, stay curious, and strive to make the world a better place, one conversation at a time. Bye!